there's timelines that maybe are similar to the gaming experiences that you've had within that industry and the industry that we're in now. Obviously with NFTs, are there parallels that you can kind of say, hey, throughout my time in the gaming industry, there were these ebbs and flows of new things that were maybe, really applauded or really shunned. NFTs are kind of in the middle. But are there any similarities between like those timelines in your time in gaming and what you're seeing in NFTs?
Oh, 100%. The biggest one's free to play. I have vivid memories of the first game developer conference of that sort of era when King showed up and they were all dressed as Candy in the Candy Crush days, walking around San Francisco. And we were all like, what the hell? Get away. Like, this is our industry. And then eventually it became mass market and everyone plays free to play games. But I think there's a big learning from that some people are kind of missing right now. And which is that free to play didn't start with Call of Duty. It took a long time to get there. It started with Candy Crush, Bejeweled, Farmville, Facebook social games, and all that sort of stuff. And then it gradually transitioned to mid-core. And then eventually you have Call of Duty Mobile. No one thinks anything of that. And my concern in blockchain is that it's going to be the same sort of path. And I think that there is this sort of feeling that we should rush into hardcore games and get the gamers convinced. And I think they will be convinced eventually. I really do legitimately think that with the right messaging and the right content, but it's going to take time to get there. And those games take a long time to make. And so it's my firm belief that hyper casual is where it's going to start.
There's a lot to unpack there. I guess the mobile industry and the rise of that in I guess, what early 2010s, maybe I'm off there, but what was that like being kind of in the middle of that? Because I'm mainly a desktop gamer. And it, people thinking with NFT games now, there's a lot of desktop games being pushed, but it's probably, like you said, they're going to be more mobile casual players that are the adopters of NFTs.
I think mobile is going to be really key. We're supporting mobile and web and a variety of different platforms. The challenge with mobile, obviously, is what Apple decides to do, and nobody's ever quite certain what their opinions are on these things until they tell us. We love Apple and got a close relationship with them, and so it feels like there's going to be opportunities to do this stuff. But we'll have to figure out navigating Apple rules on the App Store and stuff, and just nobody knows. And so that's probably the biggest wild card for everyone right now, is how quickly do they jump on board. But on the other hand, MoonPay just announced that you can, Apple Pay, and that's awesome and really exciting, because I think what it's going to take on mobile is custodial wallets and credit card purchases, and not even realizing that you're buying an NFT. And there are people who buy NFTs and don't even know they bought an NFT, and that's when we're going to start to get to some ubiquity. There's tens of thousands of people who are like hardcore NFT purchasers right now. How do we get to the 24 million people who bought Nintendogs? Like, that's going to take custodial wallets and the sort of tropes of mobile and free to play, I think, to try to get to that kind of ubiquity.